Hello everyone. Welcome to Policy's e-learning and certification services. This is a new video session in the data communication series, and in this session you will learn about data link layer technology and a simple and popular data link layer hardware and protocol UART. Before I tell you more about UART technology, let us recap what did we discuss in previous session. As we all know, communication is the activity of exchange of meaningful messages and it requires connectivity. Connectivity is defined as a physical link connecting systems. Software applications running on computers use physical link to communicate. It all seems simple. However, what makes me wonder is what about link management? That means who will take care of bit ordering, timings, signaling, for example, start and stop of transmission, synchronization, etc. Involving applications in managing link may not be a good idea because it will certainly lead to increased complexities. Extra line of code means burden on the shoulder of software developers and downgrading computers' performance. We should keep in mind that computers have been built to compute, not to communicate. So, what is the solution? The solution that has been devised to address this problem is offloading link management to another layer placed between application and physical. This layer comprises hardware and software components. Since the layer solely manages the physical link, hence the name data link layer. The set of rules followed by this layer is called data link layer protocol. Let me introduce you to UART, that stands for Universal Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter, the simplest but most popular data link layer technology. A UART is a purpose-built piece of hardware used as data link layer. The set of rules followed by UART hardware is called UART protocol. UART offers a buffer to the application layer to drop the message to communicate to the application layer at the other end. Some of the rules of UART protocol are programmable. For example, data rate, number of message bits, number of stop bits, and use of parity bit. Let us dive deeper to understand the rules UART hardware follows to offer message transport services to applications running on top of it. Initially, when there is nothing to communicate, both the UARTs keep their TX pins high, indicating idle state of the channel. As soon as the sender application drops a message in the buffer, sender side UART pulls its TX line low for 1 bit time. That is equivalent to 1 divided by data rate. This bit is called start bit. Now, there is one thing that you need to keep in mind. UART has nothing to do with the message format or its meaning. For UART, a message is nothing more than a sequence of zeros and ones. So after sending 0, that means start bit, next sender side UART start transmitting message bits 1 bit at a time, either from LSB, means lowest significant bit, or from MSB, most significant bit type. After transmitting all the message bits, it pulls the TX line high again. This bit is called stop bit. UART at the other end adheres to same protocol. It collects and stores messages in the buffer to be picked up by the application on the other end. Start, message bits, and stop bit constitute a frame. The process of converting message into a frame is called framing, and this is primary job of data link layer hardware. So it is quite apparent from here that offloading communication activities from computers and not involving applications in managing physical link certainly leads to better performance and better manageability. We have other technologies similar to UART, for example, USB, SPI, I2C, CAN, and others. I will cover them one by one in the forthcoming sessions. Okay, so now I will demonstrate how two applications can use underlying data link layer hardware following the rules of this data link layer technologies to communicate with each other. One of the application will be running on Arduino board. As we know, Arduino board comes with ATmega2560 microcontroller mounted on it. This microcontroller has 4 on-chip UARTs. The 4 RX and TX lines available here in this corner originate from microcontroller. One of the UART is connected to this USB port with the help of UART to USB converter. This path is also used for programming this microcontroller. At the same time, the same path can be used by an application running on microcontroller to send and receive messages from other application running on laptop. So let me show you how does it work. Program here on my screen is using serial library. Almost all the programming languages offer similar libraries to program UART. Let me first share more information about methods being used here. For example, begin, available, read, print, and then I will upload this code on Arduino board for demonstration. To find description of these methods, we will go to Help menu, then Language Reference. Here, we go to bottom of this page. You will find link to serial library and functions and methods available to write our programs. Available is one of the method that we are using in our program. This method returns the number of bytes or characters available for reading from the serial port buffer. Similarly, begin method is used to initialize serial communication or UART, and here we can also pass desired data rate. The supported data rates are 300 bits per second, 600 bits per second. The most popular amongst this is 9600, 9600 bits per second. Print and println are used to send data to UART to be transmitted to UART or any other data link layer technology on the other side. Read method is used to read incoming serial data. Read returns one character or one byte collected in the buffer. So These are the methods which are being used by us from the serial library in our code. Let me explain you the code line by line. The first line of code is serial.begin 9600 bitrate specification. We have placed this call to begin method inside setup function because this needs to be done only once. Inside loop function, we are first calling available method. Serial.available returns a non-zero value even if a single byte arrives in the buffer. This is why we have placed here a delay of 100 milliseconds to allow enough time to UART to collect entire message and store it in the buffer. Next, we have put a while loop here, and this while loop will keep on running as long as there are characters or data in the buffer. We are collecting those characters or bytes one by one, as these bytes are going to be in ASCII format. So we are converting it after reading into a character type of data, and then we are sending it back to UART to be transmitted back to the application running on laptop. So the program is going to echo whatever it receives from the other side. Let us upload this program on Arduino board and check how does it work. To upload, we'll first select board from tools menu, Arduino Mega or Mega 2560. Select port, there's COM3 here, and then we'll click on upload. Once program is uploaded on laptop, we will use serial monitor utility to send and receive data serially. So on laptop, serial monitor is our application. On Arduino board, this code written by us is the application. From here, let me send a single character A, alphabet A. It has been echoed by program running on Arduino board. If I send a string, the string is also echoed. So whatever we are sending from here, program running on Arduino board is sending it back to us. The communication is application to USB hardware controller, and from USB hardware controller to USB to UART converter, and from USB to UART converter to UART, one of the UART of ATmega 2560. Here, this UART is handing over message to application running on Arduino board, and then finally whatever is being sent by application running on Arduino board, it is being received by serial monitor application and being displayed to us on laptop. So this was the demonstration of UART communication. I hope you found this information useful. We'll continue our discussion on data link layer technologies. So stay tuned, stay in touch, happy learning.